Hello, I'm Steph H. Barker and this is a writing update. Today is Sunday the 1st of March and I have my Wales mug because it's St David's Day. Apologies if I sound really gross, I've actually had a bad cold for a few days, so today's sort of the first day that I've actually had my voice back. So fingers crossed it will hold for the rest of this video. So at the moment I'm writing a young adult fantasy novel, working title Casters, and this week, drumroll, I wrote 3,631 words. I'm actually really pleased with that. It's Sunday morning at the minute, so I've still got the whole of today to do some more writing, and as I've said, I've been ill this week, so it's been quite difficult to have the energy to actually write anything. For anyone who reads my blog, you'll see that it's actually quite an achievement for me to write anything, to be honest. I've always suffered with writer's block. My writer's block is based around sort of a fear that what I'm writing isn't good enough and no one's going to want to read it, and just putting it onto the page is a crime against humanity. So that's been something difficult to get over and to move past. So if there's anyone else out there who's suffered from writer's block or just struggles to get the motivation in general to write, then you should definitely check out my blog, because I've come up with some tips that have really helped me motivate myself to write. Some of the things I've focused on to try and help me write is focusing on the word count rather than the words. It's more about getting down the skeleton, or in my case, my skeleton is more like a fossilized skeleton that you can sort of see where it's going, but if you try to actually put flesh on top of that skeleton, it'd probably just crumble apart. It needs some stabilising. I use Scrivener to write with, which I find really, really helpful, particularly, I mean, there's loads of functions Scrivener has, so if you want to find out more about that, then there's loads of YouTube videos on that. One thing I love about Scrivener is it has project targets. You can set a target for a session that you're doing. So for me, I tend to set 1,500 if it's first thing in the morning, so I haven't really got that much time, or if I want to have a bit of a chunk but I don't want to work too hard, I'll go 2,000. And it also, above that, will tell you how many words you've got in your manuscript so far. So the great thing about this is every time you click on project targets, it sort of fills in this bar so you can see how close you're getting to your session target. So it starts, I think, sort of red, and then as you get nearer to your final target, it starts to go sort of amber and then green. And as pathetic as it sounds, it's actually really exciting when you hit it. You get more focused on the, oh my god, I've just written 2,000 words, rather than, yeah, I've just written a load of rubbish. So if you've got Scrivener, or if you haven't, it's not really very expensive. I would definitely invest in that, it's really worth it. Another thing I'm trying to do is prioritise. I am a to-do list person. I have at least two on the go. I've got paper ones, I've got electronic ones. What tends to happen though is I set myself a list, get towards the end, and then decide not to do the last thing normally. Or when it comes to writing, I say, right, I'm going to write today. And then I think, oh, but I really need to ring so-and-so. I really need to clean that corner in the room that I've never cleaned before, but now it's really important. So to get over that, what I've done is I've written a to-do list. Everything on that to-do list, I'm aiming to finish that day. And if it's not on the to-do list, I'm not doing it. Obviously, there's little things that come up like washing a dish or something, but generally I found that really works. And it's actually, again, a really nerdy but exciting feeling when you look at your to-do list and you've crossed off everything and you just think, wow, I've won at life here. So another thing I've been trying to do is take pride in my achievements. So for some people, they might think 1,200 words in a morning session, that is awful. But for me, I still can't even believe I actually got up and wrote 1,200 words. They weren't a great 1,200 words, but they were words. And I got up at 6 AM and did it. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous that I felt motivated enough to do that. So why should I not get praise for that? So I've been posting on Twitter about what I've been doing in terms of writing. So even little things like, woo, wrote 1,200 words, hashtag I'm writing. And then generally you get at least somebody who's going to respond saying, well done. Or you're going to get a retweet or something. And you do think, you know, actually that is something worth shouting out about. Another thing I've sort of decided to do, writing related, just really in, well, the last few hours really, is I started looking at how much it's actually going to cost to self-publish. And the amounts that I sort of came up with are very varied. I mean, I think one was from about £500. This is obviously in UK pounds. And another one was up to about, you know, 1,500, 1,300. All of which are very expensive. But what I've sort of decided in the last few hours is, yes, that's a lot of money, but realistically, I'm probably not going to be publishing this until next year because I want to edit it properly myself, send it to beta readers, get it edited and get lots of feedback on it. So I decided I'm going to have like a little piggy bank. It's probably not going to be an actual pig, not really sure what animal it's going to be, but it's going to be something with a hole in it that I'm going to put money in, and that is going to be my publishing piggy bank or animal bank. Because I'm realistic in the fact that when I do publish something, the likelihood is I will make the money back from what I spent on it, but obviously that could take 10 years. So it needs to be money that I'm not taking out of my day-to-day life. It needs to be just extra stuff that I've saved. So that's my plan for that. That's it really for today. I suppose once I start to write more or I start to edit, I'll sort of have more things to talk about. I'm hoping to do a writing video once a week on a Sunday. I'm also going to be posting probably on a Wednesday a reading related video. So there might be a review, or I've got one for next week that I'm hoping to do, which will be about male love interests in fiction. So I was Steph Harrison Barker, and this was my first ever writing update. So I'd really love to hear about how your writing's going, and if you do suffer from writing block, how you psych yourself up to complete your writing. So please put your comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and bye for now.